Good afternoon to what in effect is day 428. Welcome, hope you're all well. Hope you had a great weekend. I certainly did. Okay, so we're on the AstroTurf, which is where I left you last week. Thanks for the feedback. A bit like Marmite, some like it, some don't. The kids were all out on it at the weekend, so they clearly did. My advice to you if you're going to do AstroTurf is whatever you do, start with the furthest part away first so you make the mistakes furthest away. This join here is our worst join. It was the first pass we started, and it's obviously right where we actually walk through the house. So really hard to get them stuck down, but one has normally got a flat surface, and when you cut it, the other one does something similar. But really what you want to do is put the largest flat surface down and then overlap the other one over the top. So that's my advice to you. It definitely would look better if we had actually put the top down on the floor first and rolled it out and made it more level. But in fairness, it's the front of the garden. It looks okay, doesn't it? Put it in the comments below, let me know what you think. Thanks to new subscribers. I think we're at 906. We could make that 1,000 mark, you know. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? A year and a half's worth of filming. I don't know how many videos. It's got to be about 800 videos. 800 videos, roughly 20 minutes a day. It's quite a bit of my life. So it certainly would be nice to get 1,000 so we can actually start getting out there to people that actually want to watch it. So this week, what are we doing this week? One thing I am going to be doing this week, if I get the time, is I'm going to be staining this drive because it's driving me batty. It looks bloody awful. But if I show you this, this is what we did a while ago. We stained these two patches here just to see what it looked like. And as you can see, it looks so much better. So now what's happening is, because they put this horrible brush mark in it, which I know is a common thing, but I hate it. I wish they hadn't done that. I'd rather have had it smooth rather than having that. Obviously what happens is the water just traps there, and if I wash the car, which is sometimes what these black marks are, it sits and stains. So what we're going to have to do is obviously try and get some of this rubbish off here where the guys have dropped mortar everywhere. Get that cleaned back, get it all filled down the side there where it's sort of, we've got a bit of a gap between the wall itself and the drive itself, and stain the whole thing, I think. We definitely bought enough, so, and it would improve this 10 times just to have this looking nicer. So that bit out the front here, the pathway, and this piece here, if we get that done, it will look so much better. The other thing that we're looking to do this week is to start working on the cottage. So as you saw, our cottage was a bit of a dumping ground, wasn't it? So let me take you around and show you what Sherwin's up to. We need to try and turn it into an apartment. People can stay, maybe a bit of a Airbnb, I don't know. But yeah, so we started off by getting our beautiful sofa out at the weekend. We used that. And then what we've done today is Sherwin's emptied in here. So as you can see, we're a lot more empty in here. So it's starting to look like a big space again. So we're starting off with obviously weep. Sherwin's starting off by actually can going out all along here, just hilting all the actual rods along, cutting those back, and any highness is digging it away. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a 4-foot doorway here, and from there we're going to build like a wooden partition just to sort of establish this side of the room versus that side of the room. So we'll probably make out a beach ply. So we're waiting for it to come in at Koymans. It's not mega expensive, so we'll buy them obviously 8-foot by 4-foot sheets, and then we'll cut them about 6 inches wide by 8 foot tall. We'll make a 2 squared frame and then put slats that obviously come down in between it all the way along there. That will just help separate the 2 rooms. And then, like I said to you in the last video, we'll look at getting the laminate we've seen in, there's 2 lots of laminate. There's one in Koymans, further Koymans one. I mean, they are longer strips, which I don't like. They're, I'd say, probably about 8 inches wide by about 5 foot long. So they're the big sheets, but they're a vinyl. It's quite a thick vinyl, but it's $229.99 for 2.23 square meters. So it'll work out for this little space here, which is about 20 foot by 18 foot. It'll work out about 3,700. Whereas the other one that's actually in Barbados Steelworks, they're smaller. They're probably around about, hazard a guess, I'd say about 2 foot by about 5 inches. And they're ones that you glue down. The other one is a laminate that click locks. That's one thing I do like about it. Whereas the one in Barbados Steelworks is actually one that you glue to the floor. So both got strengths and weaknesses. The Barbados Steelworks one is working out about 1,500 versus 3,700, 600. So definitely going to be a better choice from a cost point of view. Gluing it down I think also would be better, but I do like the thought of having it down and click lock it down, and if I want to take it up I can just unclick lock it, which would definitely be better than gluing it down. Once it's glued, it's down, it's not coming back up again. And also we may have to, with the Quimans one, we would have to take the skirtings off because it has to have a 10mm gap all the way around. Even though it's vinyl, they still recommend to have a 10mm sort of expansion gap all the way around, which you know we'll normally only do for wood or for laminates, as in wooden laminates. And this is pure plastic, so that's a bit of a weird one. I'm assuming you'd have to do the similar sort of thing with the one that's glued down, but there's no movement in that any way, shape or form. So we should be able to go straight up against the worktop, the skirting boards with this. That's one of the issues, the skirting boards are down. So I don't really want to have to take them off. And with the Barbados still works, as much as it won't look amazing because it won't be dead straight, we'll be able to butt right up against the wall there. Whereas the other one, we'd have to take the skirting boards off and obviously go do the floor and then put new skirting boards back down again. So anyway, as you can see, quite a big empty room. So for those that are, you know, not new to the channel, but maybe ones that haven't seen this room before, this is going to be the bedroom area. So as you can see, plug socket either side there, light socket up on the wall. That will be where a bed will go, or a Murphy type style bed. And over there, as you can see, where the sink connection and drainage is, and also a cooker power point that hasn't been finished off. We were looking to have worktops going all the way along here, so just a single height kitchen units with some form of worktop on the top, and then some form of glass splashback on the wall. That's the plan, to have that. So keeping that quite simple. And then this area here, obviously some form of sofa, sort of chill out sort of area. As you've seen already, we've not finished the bathroom, but we did make a start on it. So the shower is actually tiled. The two tiles that were obviously done incorrectly have been taken off, so they've got to be re-put back on. And we do actually have the toilet system from England, which I've talked about, so let me show you what I was on about. So they're just a lot easier. They're wall mounted, very, very simple to install. This can be cut up, forward and backwards, up and down as well, so it doesn't dictate where the toilet lands up being. Your toilet, where you want your toilet based, lands up dictating how long this is, both on height and width. And then they've got a new push fit. So that would be quite simple to install. I would do it myself, but the plumber is due to come and do the shower, so I might get him to do both. So the pedestal itself will go here. So this will be plasterboard like over the road. Obviously the toilet waste coming through here. Cold tap very, very close to it underneath. And then the toilet pedestal will go here. With a removable top like we've done over the road. So unit's already in, the sink, tap and drainage has already been done anyway. Water. The window is on the water en route. So that's one thing that will end up coming out and add more light in here. And then once we've actually got everything fitted, then we can start marking everything up and start getting the whole place painted. We've let the actual settlements taken place. And as you can see, the dark marks around here, we've actually had that corked. So that's all done, ready to be painted. But obviously we want to make sure that we get most of it in and done before that. So yeah, that's all done. Linear drain is, again, we've got to have the tiles put into the linear drain. But one thing we did do with this one, we did actually stain the base here. And it does look so much nicer. So we will actually do that with the ones over the road. So this place has got to have a damn good paint. Once that's actually done there, the next aim is going to be to work out what we're doing with the skirting boards, with the floor. If you've got to take them off first. And then it's literally a lick of paint all the way around. We won't have to do the ceiling's fine, but we're gonna have to give the whole thing a lick of paint all around the windows. Any movement cracks to be done, i.e. there's one there, look, for instance, so we need to get that one done the bottom part, all around the ceiling at the top there, look, so that's got to be done all the way around as well. Yeah, lick of paint. That window stroke door is on the water as well, en route. And obviously we've got to fill and finish off the skirting boards that are over here, because obviously we had the plastic ones put on here because of the damp, and the old ones absorb the moisture. So this is at the first coat. So these two over here, we've got to finish that one off as well. So that's where we are so far. The cracks out here have settled okay, but there's a few, as you've seen, there's a few bits that need to be gone over, so we're going to get those redone as well. So the main thing at the moment is getting that floor scraped out and getting the steels cut back. We're waiting for Queen's to tell us when the beach sheets come in. Once they're in, we'll probably need about 4 or 5 of those to do that little sheet in there. So I'm going to cut that and make that myself. Anybody got any ideas on that, or any pictures, or any anything you've seen, send it over to me. But I was thought about doing it at beach ply just purely because it's cheap and it looks good. So any wood on this island, as you know, just doesn't really last very long, and it's bloody expensive. So I wasn't going to do it, but I thought if it's only going to cost a couple of sheets and a couple of hours of obviously cutting down and sticking together, then it could be a good idea. But if anyone's seen one, obviously on a video or anything that you like the look of, or any ideas, then let me know. I'll certainly upload, if I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I'll maybe show you some examples that I'm thinking about. Other than that, at the moment, that's where we are for today. So I'll leave you to it for now. Again, I'll probably finish off the end of the day, give you an overview, but I'll probably load tomorrow's video with an update on in here as well. So in the meantime, don't forget to give me a like and some subscribing love. That'd be greatly appreciated. And I will check in with you at some stage later on today. Thanks for watching. Okay, close the play. Quick update. Show you what's happening before I start. Don't forget to give me the honours. Okay, let's have a quick look. Sherwin's been busy. So we've had a movement crack in the floor here, so that's been ground out. I say ground out. It's actually had the wire brush on the drill just to get right to the bottom, and then rockite in there. So you can see with a bit of a burn mark around the crack, which is a bit of a shame. Don't really go that deep. That's what happens. That's basically polishing it. So Sherwin's done a few patches on here to get stuff off, but as you can see, it goes shiny, and then makes it go like a, so when you polish stone, that's what happens. So it's gone over that a bit too much. But anyway, this has all been cut back. Osfo has been actually put into the rebars to make sure that the ruster stops. That's going to get polished. These bits here will obviously be done the same as well. And he's just actually put a little bit of rockite in some of them. So this has all been levelled off now, so the wood can go straight over. We bought this horrible little wheel. So what we will do with this piece here is just wet it with some soapy water and just try and get that as nice and flush and as smooth as possible. And then if it doesn't look great, then we'll have to think about either putting something over it or just staining it. But yeah, the thought process, as I said on the video earlier on, that sort of size wood, 6 inches, right from here, so 16 feet all the way to the wall. We're going to build an 8 foot by 16 foot semi-partition in there with slats that will be facing that angle, so the light comes through the window through, and then this one here will be that angle, so they'll both be opposite each other. So that's the plan. And I'm going to jump in and give them a hand tomorrow because I've been getting materials and doing some other stuff today, so we'll try and make a good dent on it tomorrow. But the beach ply sheets aren't in stock at the moment anyway, so that's one thing we can't do. But if anyone in the island that planes and cuts down wood, let me know in the comments below. I'm trying to find someone on the island that I can, one, get the wood supplied for the gate and cut and prepared. Also, the ply sheets, I would like to do the same with those as well, so I'd like to get those cut down on a machine so they're nice and straight and there's no burnt edges. So if anybody knows anyone in the island that actually does wood cutting, planing and supply, let me know in the comments below, because at the moment I'm struggling to find someone. There is a company called SMB Woods and I think it's Exotic Paints, I think they're called. But they seem to be more an install company, but they might have some cutting and planing services. So yeah, if anybody knows anyone, let me know. That's certainly something I'd like to do. I'd like to get the wood delivered and get it planed properly, and then I can just bolt the lot together. So yeah, that's one thing I do want to do. So day 1 over. We'll check a little bit later on. Hi to Michelle in Canada. Thanks for watching and making this part of your weekly ritual. Bless you. Hope you and the husband are doing well. Okay, well I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Okay, welcome to day 2. The tile. We screwed up already. Before I carry on, it is tile dust, honest. I've tried to file these down and I've hit the tiles slightly. I don't want to be taking the tiles off, but I have noticed there's a couple of cracks down here as well. So this one here should be coming off, but that is connected up to the water. So I'm going to try and put it on without taking it out. Bodging as always, not good. That's not my makeup, but I can't get that water turned off and get that tile out and recut. So I'm going to try it without, and worst case scenario, I'm going to have to take it out after the event. So mortar, tile adhesive mixed up, sorry, ready to go on. Tiles cut. Already cut the tiles out again. so hopefully they won't need to be redone. Sherwin's in here actually sanding down the floor. So as you can see, the floor is now with the diamond blade looking a little bit better. We're gonna need to tidy up around here, but it looks a lot better. That's just so that when we come into the bedroom area, it's not looking such a mess. So it's a bit of a dusty day today so far. We've been out here, obviously, cutting the tiles. Beautiful day as always in Barbados. So, more dust. Hopefully no chip tiles moving forward. So I'll update you as I go. Probably a little bit more covered in dust. See you soon. Okay, so we're at 3:30. Before I start babbling, give me a thumbs up below if you don't mind. Comments will be greatly appreciated as well, but don't go too harsh on my workmanship. I'm not a tiler. So anyway, yeah, 3:30. So I've been out, got some materials. I've got the toilet system on the wall. I've got the tiles in. I've got the handles on the unit. I'm just looking at to hang in a mirror as we speak. So let me show you what I've been up to. Okay, so this has been squared up now and fixed to the floor. The cistern is now on the wall and the pipe is trimmed to the point where it's ready to go on. But obviously the plumber's going to have to take this board off. It's going to have to connect up the water and the waste. I'll let them do that. I mean, I can do it, but I'd rather he did that. The 2 sheets we had for here were cut too short for some reason. We're going to have to cut 2 new sheets for that. That will obviously go on tomorrow and will be fixed through the holes here, the brackets that will be fixed to the floor. The tiles have gone in, they were bloody hard. I couldn't actually space this one here at all. There was no space to put it in. So at the moment it's looking a little bit like a dog's dinner. So I'll have to give it a quick scrape at some stage tomorrow. But it has dried nice and white. But the tiles themselves, I mean, they are still damp. Obviously on the rear, so at the moment they are looking like a different colour, but I think that's mainly because they've got tile adhesive behind them and they're in the midst of drying out, so fingers crossed by the morning they'll be the same colour. You can't really see it in the daylight, but you can see it. Good afternoon to what in effect is Dave. Sorry, that was an incoming call. So yeah, you can't really see it in real life, but at the moment on the video you can see there's a slight different shade to these ones compared to the others. So hopefully they will dry out. The handles have just been drilled on. Note to self, don't drill through your finger through the other side of the door. Always quite sore. Nightmare with these two. This is a very soft plasterboard. Plasterboard here for some reason isn't like English plasterboard. So I put plasterboard fixings in there, but the screws have just made them turn straight away. So I've had to now glue them in and hopefully let them seal overnight, and then tomorrow hopefully they'll grip. If they don't, I'm gonna have to redraw them at another place. But the mirror that is actually going on there does have about a 3-inch hook on the back of the mirror for this to hook onto. So there's quite a bit of a gap on that. So this one is okay. This one is playing up, unfortunately. So yeah, handles on. So I've had to go and buy some new screws. The screws that came with them, there was 2 missing, and these ones were literally so small. So I've gone and bought some new ones. They're a lot more industrial. So that's now in and done. So tomorrow I just need to get this place empty so I can actually see and concentrate. Tomorrow the plumber's coming to finish off installing this mixer, the head, the hose at the bottom, the toilet. Then we can get boxing up, putting on the actual side corner beads and getting that plastered ready for a top to go on. And then really it's just a case of hanging the mirror, getting that painted in and putting the glass in really, and then we'll have an operational bathroom anyway. I do have to put a lock on. There's one thing I was putting off, remember rightly, yeah. So I'm gonna have to get the lock cut into that, so that's one thing I've got to do. And whilst I've been doing that, Sherman's been busy in here. These have been filled with some adhesive just to sort of level them off. There's been a little step put on there, a little blind on there, I think. I'm not too sure if that's gonna work or not, but we'll have a look at that. But worst case scenario, we'll just stain it. And just in the midst of filling all the actual window surrounds, because in the next couple of days what we want to be doing is literally getting this completely repainted all the way through, including the skirting board, so it's now a nice room waiting for the floor to go down. On that note, I did go to look at the floors today. There's 2 floors at the moment on the island, like I've said on the previous videos. The Koyman's one is very expensive, but it is click-lock vinyl, but you don't stick that down, you just put it down and click lock it in place and just ensure there's a gap around, an expansion gap all the way around. But that now has got about a box less than I need, so that's now out of the question. I went down to Barbados Steelworks to look at the other one, and it's just not. It's okay, but I'd be buying it because it's there, not because I want it. So I just can't get my head around that. So I'm gonna have a look tonight on some floorings, and ensure that I try and get a flooring from the UK and just ship it in. I think it'll work out about 1,000-ish maybe. But obviously then I've got the import tax and the shipping. So, but I'd much rather pick a floor that I like and get it imported in and put it down rather than just buy any old floor and put it down and be disappointed. And also I had someone come out to look at the driveway. So the guys come out, you can put a very thin, it's like makeup, just try to make the drive look prettier. So I've said to them, give me a quote to look at it, give me a quote to do it, because it's not the prettiest thing in the world. So if it means we can try and pretty it up a little bit by not spending too much money, then maybe that's an option. Other than that, that's where we are so far. Nothing major has happened today, but we will get this bathroom finished in the next couple of days. But I am now waiting on the plumber. So hopefully the plumber can get his backside here tomorrow, like he said he's going to, get that bit finished off, and then I can box up, paint up, and get that as an operational bathroom. That's the plan. But anyway, I'll check out for now. I'll probably load tonight, so there's a video for 2 days, and then I'll load the next one, obviously, the day after. But if I don't, in the meantime, have a great evening, and I will check in with you guys bright and breezy tomorrow. Thanks. Good morning to day 3. Hope everyone's well. Back in the toilet of death. Plumber's here helping me put the stuff in. In all fairness, connecting out the water is the main thing I need assistance with. But he's decided to fix the pedestal down for now, which is fine. And at the same time, we have an issue with the thread up here, so he's going to try and get that rethreaded so we can actually try and get the shower head. Yay, shower head. That doesn't screw in. It goes in about maybe 1/3 of the way and then just suddenly grinds to a halt. So rather than forcing it and potentially bending the arm, I'm going to try and get it rethreaded because it's a steel piece, steel elbow actually fitted behind this knob, so there's nothing we can do. We have to literally try and rethread it. So just to show you here, well, the system's now screwed down in place. It wasn't centered, but I've managed to bash it over. It seems to be okay at the moment. Here they seem to rig everything up before. I would have got the water done first. That would have been done first. Test it, make sure it fills up fine. Once that's done, then I'd put the board on. Then I'd actually fix the toilet to the floor. I'd silicone the floor first, put the toilet down, then put the fixings in. But at the moment, that's been done first. And then the other bits will be done last. So just there's not a lot of room to move around in there. So I'd always get the actual plumbing done first and connection up, make sure the mains works fine. And then none of this is fixed, which means if there's any problems, you've got room to work. But obviously if it means that there's an issue with that now, then that's got to be unscrewed from the floor. In England, I would silicone that, which means that would cause mess. That's got to be unscrewed and taken away in order to get to what you need to get to. But they do things differently, so. But yeah, I would say, connect up the water first. The water is actually on this side, as I showed you yesterday, which means that you're gonna have to come out of here, up and along and then up. So again, in England, I would keep saying in England, but in England, I'd probably obviously just take a flexi from there straight to it. They do flexis quite long, so better come straight over here, straight up and in one pipe, no elbows, etc. But I think what he's going to do is going to put some form of fixed elbow up and across, then maybe some form of elbow to in fixed pipe. Then once that's done, obviously we can then get away with trying to measure, make sure all these gaps are right. At the moment it does look a little bit swollen in certain areas, so I just want to make sure that it doesn't look out of square. So I'm going to measure down here. If it has gone out slightly, I'm going to get some wood cut and I'm going to screw that in to try and pull that in, make sure we get it all squared off. And then it's obviously using the new plaster sheets to get some new sides cut and then look at a new top. Hopefully that'll be sorted today as well. And I'll screw this in. I don't know if I've lost it yesterday, so I apologise if I regurgitate what I've already said. But anyway, this is an American version of the shower head. You know, the one that you help to sort of do your body and etc. The spare one that fixes to here. For some reason, rather than having it fixed like this, it's fixed like that through 2 screw holes, which are plastic. So I can't see it taking the weight of that very well. But anyway, so once this is all finished off, then I'll screw those into there. This isn't porcelain, so I should be able to get through there with a standard masonry piece. And then hopefully it will last, but I'm not very confident that's going to be the right thing to do. Sherman's in here filling all the door frames, sanding down again because we've had some movement cracks. I've actually been using this stuff from Sherwin-Williams, which is actually really good. Shrink-free spackling. Again, it's only about 18, 19 beige, if I remember rightly. Some of the stuff's like 40, 50. So, but yeah, it goes on. It's really light. It makes you think it's actually nothing in it. But that's been working out really well. And what he's been doing is going over the actual filler we already had in there. Now that it's dried out and the movement cracks are finished, and it's given a nice smooth surface, which is good. So again, that's just the under. So later on today, we'll be scrubbing off any pencil marks, hand marks, any bits like this, scraping off, getting prepped up ready to literally give this place a lick of white paint. That's going to be the aim. And then what we're going to be doing is finding someone that can actually scrub this floor. And then we're going to be taking these up, cutting the actual the hatch into one of these. But before they go back down again, we're going to put them down upside down, which means they should have a cleaner side. And we're going to put some of the tin foil insulation rolls over the joists, staple it down and put these down over the top. 1, to help with the noise, 2, the insulation, and 3, the pumps and everything to the mains water downstairs, which just try and help dampen the noise down. So in fact, let me just quickly show you what I mean by insulation. Okay, so I bought quite a bit of this over, super quilt, multi-layer insulation blankets. So 10 meters by 1.5. So I'll roll one of these out and staple this to the floor itself and then put the floor over this. Now it's a bit of a nightmare to screw through this stuff, but obviously because it'll have the weight of the ply on top of it, the screw should go straight through and hold it nice and firm, which will also give it that insulation value up underneath and also help dampen down some of the noise. Now, it's not like some insulation in as much as they go in R values. This one, if I remember rightly, is an R7. If I remember rightly. It'll say here somewhere. So you talk about insulation values. I think this is an R7, whereas a lot of insulations are R11s and R12. So it's clearly not going to be 4, 5, 6 inches thick, so it's not going to have the same R value, but I'm pretty sure this is R7, if I remember rightly. So as you can see, quite a bit of it. If anybody needs insulation, let me know. I have a few rolls, so that's what I'm going to be doing upstairs. So anyway, let me take you back up. So the rest of it really is just about trying to get the bathroom finished off and in here. So today's goal, finish off the water if we can, get that thread sorted out, get the shower heads installed. Once that's finished, I can plasterboard the toilet cistern and get that beaded and filled, waiting to have a paint and sand. Hopefully that'll be done in time for inside to be painted, and we can run the paint right through into the bathroom or through the toilet cistern as well. And then after that, it literally is finished fitting some of the shower furniture, fitting the glass, installing the lock, forgot the lock, yeah, and the rest of it is then going to be on the floor in here. So that's going to be, we're hoping to start the floor next week, ideally Monday, but it's probably going to be more like Tuesday straight Wednesday, but that's the plan so far. So I'll update you as the day goes, but in the meantime, give me a thumbs up there below if you don't mind, and give me some of that comments. Love it. Take care.